I may have solved the problem. Found the problem. And as is often the case, the problem is me. But that is pinball shenanigans at its finest.
I'm Mike Dimas, and this is Pinball Shenanigans.
Today I'm going to see if I can solve an issue with probably the RAM on this Bally Space Invaders here. As you can see, it is showing 8950 for high score to date, which is not the high score to date, because I played it last night and I got more than that. And also, my credits were around 40, and now they are gone. So every time you turn off the machine, it shows up garbage in the displays. I have tried clearing the memory using the memory clear button. I have already removed and reseated the 5101 RAM chip that is responsible for the memory. I have replaced the battery pack. There was one in here originally when I got the machine, but one of the batteries was exploded. So I changed the pack, the diode, and the batteries. So a couple things I'm going to look at are, firstly, the wiring here. This wiring to the battery pack is attached to positive, which is good, and the black wire is attached to an unusual spot. This screw hole, actually it's not really a screw hole, it is a hole for a standoff, so it's attached there. I'm starting to suspect that that might be part of the problem. So it was suggested that I check the voltage on the RAM chip on pin 22. So got to do that with the machine off, I was told, in the Pinball Repair Help group, which is an amazing group for all your sources of pinball repair information. That's pretty much all I go to, that and PinWiki. So I've got my negative lead attached to the ground here, the ground strap. We're set for DC voltage, and this battery pack should be about close to 5 volts, right? 1.5 volts for each battery times 3. And if we look closely on the CPU, you will see the number 1 printed on the circuit board there. And you'll see that around here as well, and here. So we know that is leg number 1. Oh, sorry. And this is 11 legs, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Then you skip over 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So we're going to go to 22. And my multimeter tells me that we are not getting our 5 volts. So that's definitely an issue. That is where we begin today. I'm going to check the wiring on this battery pack, see if that is in fact attached to ground. I mean, it looks like it is, but who knows? And maybe replace the RAM chip and see if that, maybe the RAM chip is bad. So I'm just winging it here, and we're going to see if we can figure this out. So I'll be right back. Just for fun, we can check that the batteries themselves are good. They were brand new, but it doesn't always mean that they're good, right? So if you see through the wires, you can see 4.85 volts. So the batteries themselves are good. All right, how about we check continuity on these wires? There's a black wire here. Oh, there's the answer. I've got the other lead attached to where the ground lead comes in, to that standoff hole. And as you heard, we've got continuity. So the black wire itself is not the issue. Here's a question. I believe this is where... Is this where... No, this is where the original battery was mounted. So in theory, we should have continuity from there to here, right? Yes, we do. It's a little crusty, but that means that that is actually a fine and dandy spot. It is connected to ground, so I guess that's not the issue. Now I'm really starting to suspect the RAM chip itself. I already removed it, cleaned the legs, and reseated it. So I think next step is to find another one and test it. I'll replace it with... I'll find one. I'll find one around here somewhere. Okay, this came with a big lot of parts once upon a time. And I've never actually used anything from it yet. But maybe... No, these are all too slim. Okay, that's not where I'm going to find a RAM chip. Not on this guy. Alright, I just pulled some more chips off the shelf. I don't know if I'll find one in here. But, man, I've got to organize some stuff one of these days, that's for sure. I got crap all over the place. What does this say? Bunch more crap in here. I feel like I'm getting close, though. Alright, I'll be back. Okay, I found me a board. It says that it is a good CPU. Brent retested it, and okay, it was an 8-ball. It must have been some time ago. But we're going to borrow the RAM chip then on this guy. I wonder if this is the exact same board. This is a -35. I'll have to look. Maybe the board's completely compatible. They mostly are. Sometimes you need to change jumpers and stuff in order to swap the entire board. I think this sticker's covered up. Yeah, there it is. Dash whatever is hidden. Oh wait, this is a -17, it says on the sticker. Okay, so that could mean that it's not exactly swappable without changing jumpers, but it could be. I'd have to look into it. But I'm just going to swap the RAM and go from there. Okay, RAM chip is installed. Notch is on the left. Oh, those legs look good. And those look good too. I didn't screw any up. Okay. So, let's turn on the machine and see what happens. Imagine there will be some different jumble in there for now. I'll have to clear off the memory. Let's see. What's it say? Oh, no garbage. Okay. That's promising. So I'm going to go into diagnostics here and get into the first setting. Solenoid test. There's sound test. I don't think you can hear that. It's very quiet. That's your switch test. And that is our first replay value, which is at 0. So I don't need to reset that, but I don't know. For good measure, I like to do that anyway. And I kind of just peer through the back here to see if it's actually reset. If there's actually some numbers there. Oh, look, 77777. I just hit the jackpot. And then peek through here. There we go, reset. Okay, I'll do that for all the rest, and then we'll see what happens. Okay, I cleared the memory off. Now it's time to add our credits. We'll max out at 40, and then I will play a game, put up a score, and then turn off the machine and see if the score holds. But I may not know for sure until I have the machine powered off for like 24 hours, because before, when I was testing it, if I turned it off and then on like 10 minutes later, it might still be good. But when I had it off for a longer period of time, like overnight, then the memory would get all wacky. So we'll see what happens. All right, you missed all the fun. I just played a couple games. And all right, got a couple 100,000. So this is for test number 1. Turn off the machine for a couple seconds. Walk around. Ponder life. Check the fact that all my credit papers are still intact. My display protector paper, that's super rare. Anyway, there, that's about a minute-ish. Turn on the machine, and we'll see for the short-term machine off test. What do we got? 38 credits, that's correct, and 200,000. Okay, so that doesn't necessarily prove anything to me yet until I have the machine off for, like I said, 24 hours or at least overnight. So I think I'll come back tomorrow and turn on the machine, and we will check it out then. So we'll have to wait on that. I'll see you tomorrow. Well, I just thought of something. I think I should actually test the voltage at pin 22 on the new RAM chip. Wouldn't that make sense? So, DC voltage, ground is here. If this says 5 volts, then we definitely know we've done something right. If it doesn't say 5 volts, then maybe it is a bad socket or trace, but hopefully this will be telling. Let's see. Come on, 5 volts. Ooh, that's not good. Okay, well, maybe we don't have to wait till tomorrow to determine whether this is working or not. So, might be time to pull the CPU and have a closer look. Okay, I just thought of something else I can try here. This is the 8-ball CPU, and it's already got a lithium battery installed there. So, for starters, let's check the lithium battery. Now, this is my board repair guy. I can tell this is his work, and it's just a 3-volt lithium battery, which obviously I'm just gonna defer to his expertise that 3 volts is sufficient. So there we go, we got 3.3 volts. So the battery is good. So now what we can try is testing. Come on, get in there. I'll test pin 11 on this board. They say do it with the power off. So I'm assuming you can do it on the bench like this. We just want to see if this juice is getting to this RAM chip. So we'll go ground somewhere around here. That should be ground. And let's see if we get our 3.3 volts here. Oh snap, look at that. We got a little bit of loss there. We're at 3 volts DC. So that tells me that must be a bad socket or trace on the Space Invaders CPU. That's what I'm thinking. All right, time to remove that board and take a close look. All right, so check this out. I jumped ahead a little bit here. This is the Space Invaders CPU. And there's the battery pack. Tested the diode, it's fine, just for fun. Although it's brand new. Okay, we'll go to ground. And we'll go to pin 22. And look at that, 4.58 volts. So when I removed the CPU, I'm getting my voltage. Hold on. This is 4.86. What did I say? 4.82? 4.58. So, for whatever reason, I got voltage now. So I really don't know what that means, unless this wire here is touching something else when it's installed. But, or maybe the problem could be deeper, like something to do with these chips or something. But what I'm going to do at least is move this wire over to probably this guy here. I'll clean him up. And yeah, we'll give that a try and see if that changes anything. Okay, so I may have solved the problem. I mean, found the problem. And as is often the case, the problem is me. But that is pinball shenanigans at its finest. So for fun, I turned on my soldering iron and thought I would check the voltage again. And I wasn't getting any voltage. So WTF, right? And I'm like, did I read that right? Did I actually read voltage in the previous video? Or was I misreading it? What am I doing wrong? But as you can see, there's no voltage there. So since it was intermittent, I started blaming the wire. So I kind of grabbed onto my junction here that I did. And come on. When I was messing with these wires here. Uh-oh. I soldered that on pretty good, I thought. But see, look, that's soldered on good. Maybe I'm not the problem after all. Maybe it's this junction. This is not my junction. That's someone else's junk. Okay. What I'm telling you, though, is that the voltage is being intermittent. You saw I had voltage. Now I don't. We got it earlier, just before recording, and now I can't seem to get it back. So I'm onto something, not sure what, but I'll report back. Okay, just for my own sanity, I want to show you that I did, in fact, there we go, get voltage 4.58 volts. Alright, I just kind of wiggled everything around. So there's something just, I'm not sure what it is yet, but voltage is intermittent, so I'm working on it. Okay, so I was gonna go and install the button battery that is on this old board. I was gonna try that, but then I remembered that I had memory caps, and I've installed those a few times. I haven't actually installed one of the lithium button batteries before. I think you might have to drill a hole in the board, or maybe not, and you have to add a blocking diode somewhere. But you don't have to with the rechargeable memory cap. So I just got rid of all this altogether. We're going to rule that out of the equation completely. I didn't actually test the voltage on the memory cap. Come to think of it, let's do that now. It's a 5.5 volt. Oh, maybe it's going to need to charge, because it is sitting at 1.6 volts. Okay. Alright, well, this is the negative side here, so let's see if we got 1.6 volts over here. Looks like we do. Okay, well, that's a good sign. So I think I'll have to stick in this board, charge it for a bit, and see if we can beef up the voltage. But I think we are on the right trajectory here, because reading the voltage is being consistent now. So that is good. Okay, CPU is reinstalled, and here is our multimeter. Just double checking. Should be about 1.6 volts here, and that is what it is. So let's turn on the machine. I'm kind of curious how fast this memory cap charges, and as long as I didn't screw anything up, then actually I'm gonna have to clear off the memory probably all over again. still has 40 credits on it. And your score cannot end with a 4, so, and I didn't get that score last game. So I'll have to clear the memory. But out of curiosity, I wonder if we can like watch the memory charge go up. What? 5? Oh wait, you can't do this with the machine on. You have to do it with the machine off, I guess. So how does that work? No, the machine being on is what charges the memory cap, right? Oh wait, we're at 2.1 volts, so already made an improvement there. So I guess it won't take too long to charge that guy up. All right, I'll be back. Okay, I've had the machine on for a good maybe 20 minutes or so, played a couple games. Now it's time to see if the battery, has recharged. Get him on there. All right, pin 22, here we go. What are we at? Oh, 4.99 volts, look at that. All right, that is good stuff. Okay, so I imagine everything is going to be hunky-dory when I turn it back on. Let's see what my last score was. Presuming it's saved. 38 credits. And 428,000. Okay, well, I think the last thing I have to do is come check in the morning and see if after, you know, a number of hours it doesn't save, but I feel like I have success. So I can't actually say what the issue was. I tried to test, where is it? The old wire from the old battery holder. I tested continuity and it was fine. So somewhere there was a kink in the system. I just don't know what it was. If the kink happens to be the socket or something on the CPU, then it will rear its ugly head. But if it was something to do with the battery pack, then I think the problem is resolved. So I'll check back in the morning for one more test and we'll see how that goes. Okay, it's been actually like 3 or 4 days since I turned this thing on, so I kind of forget exactly where I left off, but what we're going to do is see if my new memory capacitor actually worked. I mean, I have faith in the memory capacitor itself. It's just, what was the initial issue? I never really did determine that. Hey, look at that. It saved my credits, saved my high score properly. Before, it would save my credits, but my high score would be all garbled. So this is a good sign. This is probably problem solved. But what I'm going to do is go through the settings here. We're going to take a look for any unusual information or numbers or data or digits in the displays. So 36, or setting number 5, represents number of credits, obviously. Number 6, I don't know what that represents, but 4 is a good number. 0s are good numbers. 3s, 14. I wonder what 14. Oh, maybe total games played. That's possible. That could be an audit. I'm not sure. But we're not seeing any crazy random numbers that just don't make any sense. Uh-oh. Why, when I reboot it, did only half of the infinity lights kick on there? Okay, that's just a thing. When you shut off the machine, it's like the infinity lights pause wherever they are located. It looked like it was just in the bottom corner there. Okay, so I'd like to consider that resolved. The only problem is, like I said, I don't actually know what the issue was. I don't know if it was the batteries, if it was the location of the battery pack on the CPU, if it was the wiring of the battery pack, if it was the diode wiring on the battery pack. I just wasn't able to rule any of those out indefinitely as the culprit. So I like when I solve problems, but I like him more when I know what the actual issue was. In this case, I'm not really sure. So we're going to call it resolved, and I am basically done with this project. I'm doing a little bit of touch-ups next, so I don't know that there will be a video on that. But anyway, that's dealing with memory. All right, I think we're good to go. Thanks for watching.